Today concept is very easy concept, simple concept. That is first concept name is detail. Today concept is detailed Java. Detailed Java. First concept, first definition. What do you mean by variable? Do you know anything about variable? Variable is nothing but it is a name given to a one memory location, given to a one memory location which can hold a value, which can hold a value. That value will be changed in future number of times. That value will be changed in future number of times. Variable is nothing but it is a name. Variable is nothing but it is a name given to a one memory location which can hold a value. That value will be changed in future number of times. Wherever you want, whenever you want, you can change the value. That is called variable. Variable is nothing but it is a name given to a one memory location which can hold a value. That value will be changed in future number of times. Variable advantages. One is reusability. Again and again. Easy to update. Easy to maintain. These are the advantages. And variable syntax. Data type, variable name equal to value. Simply we can write int a equal to 10. This is variable. Variable is nothing but it is a name given to a one memory location which can hold a value. That value will be changed in future number of times. How many times you want, you can change the values. And advantages: reusability, easy to update, easy to maintain. Syntax: data type, variable name equal to value. That is variable. Next, constant. Next definition, constant. Constant is nothing but the same definition. It is a name given to your one memory location which can hold the value. Which can hold the value. That value will not change in future. That value will not change in future. That is called constant. Simply same definition. It is a name given to a one memory location which can hold a value. That value will not change in future. If it is variable, variable value will be changed in future. Constant value will not change in future. So syntax final. No, constant is nothing but that value will not change in future. So constant final data type constant name equal to value. So simply we can write final int a equal to 10. So if it is having final, that is constant too. If it is not having, that is variable. That is the main difference between constant and variable. If it is constant, it is having final. Final data type, final int a equal to 10. That is constant too. If it is having not final, that is variable. So whenever you are facing the interview, that time they will ask you what is the main difference between constant and variable. How to find out, how to identify if it is constant or variable. If it is having final, that is constant. If it is not having final, that is variable. Okay. All right. There are next definition variables. There are two types of variables. One is local variables. Second one is global variables. Local variables means within the function only it will work. Behind the function it will not work. The type of variables is known as local variables. Within the function only it will work. Beyond the function it will not work. The type of variables is known as local variables. Next, global variables further divided into four types. One is public, second one is private, fourth one default, fourth, fourth one protected. Already we discussed. These are the access modifiers. These are the access modifiers. Access modifiers. There are four access modifiers. One is public. Yes, if you write public, okay. If you write public, whenever you are writing function, if you write public, you can access entire project. You can access it in entire project. If you write public, whenever you are declaring any function like public static void breathe, public static void sleep, public void earn, public void drink, public void smoke. So wherever you write public, that time we can access entire project wherever it is. Okay, if it is in under default package, if it is under default package, we can access in the package itself only. We can access in the package itself. If you write private, we can access in the class only, in the particular class only. If you write protected, we can access that package stuff as well as other packs child class stuff. Other packs child class stuff. We can access that package stuff, other package child class stuff also. Always we will use only public in our real life, in our lifetime we will use only public. Always we will use only public. Just for general knowledge, default, private and protected. Yes, always we will use only public. Okay, public, always we will use only public. Next, conditional statements. Conditional statement. There are three conditional statements available in Java. One is if, second one is if else, third one is switch case. There are three conditional statements available in Java. One is if, second one is if else, third one is switch case. Where exactly we will use if condition? Tell me. Do you know anything about if condition? No. Madam, no. Where exactly we use if condition? If it is only single block or if you want to execute only single block, that time we will use if condition. If it is only single block or if you want to execute only one block, that time we will use if condition. If it is only single block or if you want to execute only one block, that time we will use if condition. For example, if a equal to 10, if a equal to 10, Akhil is a good boy. There is no alternate. Okay, if a is equal to 10, Akhil is a good boy. Simply it will execute. If it is only single block or if you want to execute only single block, that time we will use if condition. If it is only single block or if you want to execute only single block, that time we will use if condition. Next, if else. Among two blocks, if you want to execute only one block, that time we will use if else. If a is equal to 10, Akhil is a good boy, else Akhil is a bad boy. So there is no, there is alternate. Okay, if a is equal to 10, it will execute Akhil is a good boy. If a is not equal to 10, then it will execute Akhil is a bad boy. Among two blocks, if you want to execute only one block, that time we will use if else. Among two, hmm? first one is first one is truth. Okay. Among two blocks, if you want to execute only one block, that time we will use if else. Next, switch case. Among many blocks, among many blocks, if you want to execute selectively some blocks, not all blocks, selectively some blocks, that time we will use switch case or select case statements. We will execute choice 1, choice 2, choice 3. Selectively some blocks. That time we will use switch case statements. Among many blocks, if you want to execute selectively some blocks, that time we will use switch case statement. With examples we will discuss later. Hmm. Right, that is switch case statements. Among many blocks, if you want to execute selectively some blocks, that time we will use switch case statement or select case statements. Among many blocks, if you want to execute selectively some blocks, that time we will use switch case statement or select case statements. Next, looping statements. Loop. What do you mean by looping? Looping, loop. What do you mean by loop? Do you know anything? Looping statements. If you want to if you want to execute a certain block of statements continuously or repeatedly, then we will use looping statements. If you want to execute a certain block of statements continuously or repeatedly, then we will use looping statements. There are three looping statements available in Java. One is for loop, second one is while loop, third one do while loop. There are three looping statements available in Java. One is for loop, second one is while loop, third one is do while loop. Where exactly we will use for loop? I am the last teacher. In future nobody will teach you. For loop. Where exactly we will use for loop? I will tell you. How many fixed number of times that loop should be execute if you know that figure or number, that time we will use for loop. For example, for int I equal 0, I less than 10, I plus 1. So how many fixed number of times that loop should be execute if you know that figure or number, that time we will use for loop. I know correct figure, that is 10. That loop should be execute 10 times. So I'm mentioning here 10. So how many fixed number of times that loop should be execute if you know that figure or number, that time we will use for loop. Perfectly, if you know that number, then only we can use for loop. How many fixed number of times that loop should be execute if you know that figure or number, that time we will use for loop. Next, while loop. Next, while loop. As long as condition being satisfied, there is no restrictions like 10 times 20 times. As long as condition being satisfied, as long as condition being satisfied, it will execute. Yes, as long as condition being satisfied. If it is condition satisfying, then it will stop the loop, otherwise it will execute. There is no restrictions like 10 times 20 times 50 times. As long as condition being satisfied, it will execute. That is while loop. This loop is called entry level condition. This loop is called entry level condition. Next, do while. Next, do while. Just similar to while. Just similar to while. Just similar to while, but without checking the condition, it will execute first time. Without checking the condition, without checking the, it will execute first time. Second time onwards, it will check the condition. Second time onwards, it will check the condition. This loop is called exit level condition. This loop is called exit level condition. This loop is called exit level condition. This is looping statements. There are three looping statements available in Java. One is for loop, second one is while loop, third one is do while loop. Next condition, next concept to arrays. Just wait, arrays. Array is nothing but it is a special type of variable which can hold the multiple values. If it is variable, we can store the single value. If it is arrays, we can store the multiple values. Array is nothing but it is a special type of variable which can hold the multiple values. If we want to store the multiple values, we will use arrays concept. Arrays. Array is nothing but it is a special type of variable which can hold the multiple values. If we want to store the multiple values, we will use arrays concept. If it is variable, we can store the single value. If it is arrays, we can store the multiple values. There are three types of arrays. One is single dimensional array, second one is multi-dimensional array, third one is object array. There are three types of arrays. One is single dimensional array, second one is multi-dimensional array, third one is object array. First, single dimensional array. First, before going to single dimensional array, this is array. If you want to add anything to array, if you want to get anything from array, we will use index concept. Array index start with 0. 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 Just this is very important. Array index start with 0. If you want to add anything to array, if you want to get anything from array, we will use index concept to array index start with 0. Single dimension array syntax. Array index start with 0. I will tell you. I will tell you. Array index start with 0. For example, array single dimension array syntax. Data type, array name equal to new data type, size of array. Simply we can write into a equal to new int size of array. I am mentioning size 3. So that means into a of 0, it start with 0 equal to 100 into a of 1 equal to 200 into a of 2 equal to 300. So the size is 3 I declared. Size is 3. So it will start with 0, 0, 1, 2. Enough. This is array index. It start with 0. The size is 3, 0, 1, 2. Okay. Next, multi-dimensional array. Next, multi-dimensional array. Into a equal to new int 2, 3. So this is number of rows, this is number of columns. Number of rows and number of columns. This is multi-dimensional array. Next, object array. Object array is used for store the multi-data types. If we want to store the multi-data types, we will use object array. Whenever you are writing object array, O should be cap. Object A equal to new object and declaring size is 4. A of 0 equal to Akhil. It is a string data type. It is a string data type. A of 1 equal to 10. It is a integer data type. A of 2 equal to 0.0004. This is decimal data type. A of 3 equal to single character A. It is character data type. There are four data types. We discussed already eight data types. Okay, first four data types, byte, short, int, long. Four data types are used for store the only integer values, and float and double used for store the decimal values. Okay, here observe carefully. Akhil, you have 0. Akhil is a string data type. You have 1, 10 integer data type. You have 2 decimal data type. You have 3 single character. These are the four data types. We can store the multi data types in single. So that is object array. Object array is used for store the multi data types. Right. Using this knowledge, we can discuss one concept. That concept name is exception handling. Using this knowledge, we can discuss about very important concept, that is exception handling. First definition. What do you mean by exception? What do you mean by exception? Okay, I will tell you. Exception is nothing but exception definition. Very important definition. Very important concept in Java, that is exception handling. First definition. What do you mean by exception? While writing the Java code, I will write the definition. Very important. While writing the Java code, there are some chances the code which we have written, can't executed by Java. So such type of situation is known as exception. While writing the Java code, there are some chances the code which we have written can't executed by Java. So such type of situation is known as exception. There are two exceptions available in Java. One is caught exception. Other one is uncaught exception. One is caught exception, other one is uncaught exception. Caught exception means while writing the Java code, if at all any missing full stop, comma, colon, semicolon, bracket, whatever it is, if at all any missing automatically it will show you error message. That is called caught exception. If it is showing error message, we can rectify the problem. Why? Because it is showing some error. So what is missing, finally we can get the solution and we can replace and we can rectify the problem, whatever it is. So why? Because it is showing error. Oh, something is missing. That's the reason it is showing error. We can rectify the problem at any cost. That is caught exception. While writing the Java code, if at all any missing automatically it will show you error message or into mark. That is called caught exception. Next, uncaught exception. While writing the Java code, if at all any missing Java will not show you, Java will not say you anything. Simply it will sit to. During execution it will not execute. That is called uncaught exception. So if it is caught exception, at any cost we can solve the problem. We will do Google and we can rectify the problem. But uncaught exception means while writing the Java code, if at all any missing Java will not show you, Java will not say you anything. Simply it will execute. Simply it will sit to. During execution it will not execute. That is called uncaught exception. This is the main problem whenever you are working with Java. So in Java we have uncaught exceptions. If at all any missing Java will not show you anything. Simply it will sit to. During execution it will not execute. Why it is not executing, we can't understand. So that is the main problem. So if you want to find out the uncaught exception, we can use try, catch, and finally. If we want to find out the uncaught exceptions, we will use try, catch, finally. Okay. What is try? We will discuss. If you have doubt on only particular block of statements, just better to keep in try block. If you have doubt on only particular block of statement, just better to keep in try block. What is that error we can get in catch block? What is that error we can get in catch block? Finally, at any cost, it will execute. If it is try executing or not, catch is executing or not, it will execute. Okay. If you have doubt on any particular block of statements, just better to keep in try block. What is that error we can get in catch block? And if it is try executing or not, catch executing or not, finally at any cost it will execute. So here in try and catch we have some drawback. If you have doubt on only particular block of statements, it's just better to keep in try block. So if you have doubt on multiple blocks, that multiple times we need to write to try and catch. That is very lengthy. Program will be very lengthy. That is the reason none of the people are using try and catch. If you have doubt on only particular block of statements, just you can keep try and catch and you can get the problem. You can get the solution. Okay, enough. If it is only single block, try and catch is more than enough. If you have doubt on multiple blocks, that multiple times we need to write try and catch. For example, if you have doubt on 100 blocks, that 100 times you need to write try and you need to write catch. So program will be very lengthy. So instead of try and catch, always we will use throws. In Java and Selenium, always we will use throws. Throws is used for automatically it can throws the all the exceptions at a time. If it is 1000 exception, it can handle the 1000 exceptions at a time. Always in Java and Selenium, always we will use throws. Throws is used for it can throws the all the exceptions at a time. It can handle the thousands of exceptions at a time. So always we will use throws. Today concept we discussed exception handling. What is exception? What is caught exception? What is uncaught exception? How to find out the uncaught exception? So what is try? Finally at any cost it will execute, madam. If it is try executing or not, catch executing or not, finally at any cost it will execute. Here we discussed 10 interview questions. What is exception? What is caught exception? What is uncaught exception? What how to find out the uncaught exceptions? What is try? What is catch? What is finally? What are the drawbacks in try and catch? What is throw? What is the advantages of throws? These are the interview questions. Shall we write the program? Ah, so difficult, huh? Yes. Okay. Just remember tomorrow also we have class India time same time. Okay. No, I will not go. Okay. Right. Today recorded file is very big. It is very big. You